Good morning YouTube friends, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm outside pottering around, I've got lots of jobs to do. I spent a few hours jet washing the outside. I'll show you the area. And what happens over the winter, it all gets like a silt over it. So I spent all day, one of the days, cleaning it all. Living in a wet climate, you do get a lot of algae, which is a nightmare really. I'll probably have to do that drive 3 times during the year. But what I've noticed as well on the house, on the render, is algae. So what I want to do is fill a spray bottle with vinegar and water to actually kill the algae first. And then I'll put the algae remover on after that I've bought. I'll show you along the wall, and particularly this side because it's north facing, it gets worse. But I'll show you what I mean. I'm not sure if it'll show up on the camera, but it's all down the bottom along the front here as well. So yeah, and it looks horrible, doesn't it, when you've got a nice cream render on your walls. This one's particularly worse up here. So yeah, I'm going to get the vinegar out and get spraying. So I've got one of these sprayers, and there's about 6 litres of water in there and a good dose of vinegar. So that water I've put in there is warm. So I'm just going to go around and spray. So I managed to finish the rest of the spraying with the vinegar on the walls. And now we're into Sunday. Now Sunday's turned out to be a beautiful day. The sun's out, a nice breeze. So I thought I'd get the Vegepod sorted out. Now we've got 2 Vegepods, and they were absolutely green, thick green with algae. And I'll tell you how I managed to get them that colour again. So we are in a wet climate, and things like that do accumulate, like you've seen on the walls of the house, but on that as well. And it was an eyesore every time you walked up to the door and saw those, you know, Vegepods full of algae. In the past we've bought new covers. I've tried to put them in the washing machine, I've tried to scrub them, and none of that works. The only thing that works, but you've got to be careful of where the bars are, was the jet washer, and it completely cleaned them right off like brand new. But if you go by the bars, be careful, because you can like rip it there, and you don't want that. But yeah, so if you want to clean your Vegepod covers, do it with the jet wash. But I left the covers on while I was doing it, and yeah, they've come up great. I was so pleased after all that time. And I've seen lots of people, you know, wondering how to get them nice and clean again. Well, that's the answer. Been out this morning out at the Vegepods, and I've weeded it, chucked it in that bucket, and yeah, I'll show you what I've been doing. So there's some shoots here. I'm sure they must be garlic though, because I'm sure I took all the garlic out, but obviously not. So there's a few of them in the Vegepod. But what I've done, which I did this morning, was I had an old bed, you know, that had slats. So I've cut the slats off and put some tape there so that I can name what I put in each row. And yeah, so everything goes to recycle here. And I thought that was a great. They're not treated, but they'll be all right just for a season. I'll take them out then. But yeah, so I'm ready to get sewing soon. So this other Vegepod is done exactly the same. I've done the slats in that one. So yeah, we've got 2 Vegepods now that we can plant up. But what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to change those covers to the plastic, so we can get a bit of heat in there to start things off. Got some Jack's Magic compost that I want to top the Vegepods up with, so I've got myself a bucket and I'm going to top that up. So yeah, I'm just going to top these up, put a bit of nutrients back in the soil, because over the winter it all gets depleted, doesn't it? There was actually a lot of moss that has grown in here, but this is a good compost. It has seaweed in it as well, so you just need to top the top of it really. It's nice to get growing again, isn't it? I don't think I'm going to get much done in the garden this year around the back because there's a lot to clear up, you know, get sorted out. Those dogs, they just love the sun. So do I, actually. Right, I bought a couple of these a couple of weeks back, and I'm going to plant them up, but I'm just filling them with that compost. The bloody labels are stuck on, it's always the way, isn't it? But yeah, I'm just going to fill them up and then we'll plant something in here. So in those containers that I've just filled up, I'm going to plant lobelia and something that I absolutely love, and it's gorgeous smell, is night scented stock. Now I'm going to plant them in these containers, but keep them in the Vegepod with the plastic cover over the top, but also I'll cover it with fleece, and they should germinate in there because it's coming to that time of the year now where there's more light, a little bit more heat, and especially under them covers it'll be warm. So the night scented stock I'll just put around the edge, so I'll share the packet between, if I put a little line, actually I don't want it at the back, just at the front and sides. So if I sprinkle some of those just around the side and the front, they're tiny, they're hard to see, so I'll have to empty them in the palm of my hand and then we can see what we got, because I've got to spread it between the two. But yeah, they're very fine, but they'll be lovely. I can't see why they won't germinate. On the packet it says between 15 and 20 degrees, but under there it will get very warm. These night scented stock are a bit bigger, so easier to see. So I shall plant them in both of them and then we'll give them a water. I'll just sprinkle it, I think. And in the other one, they're absolutely gorgeous when they start coming up and they come into flower. So I'm just going to dab them in. And the same on here. A little bit of earth on top there. And the other one. It's lovely to think we can get out, start sowing a miserable long winter. Yeah, so I'll just give them a water. Yeah, so we'll give them a good watering. Make sure it's all watered, because I did put some around the edge, didn't I? And I'll just have to keep an eye on that in the polytunnel, I keep calling it polytunnel, in the Vegepod. I am going to cover that with fleece as well. Yep, so I'll give them a really good soak, and fingers crossed. Now, I've got these Vegepod hothouse covers, they're called, but they're good for, you know, in the winter, spring, snow, whatever, and good for germinating seeds. So I'm just going to put these on now and I'll be back with you in a minute. So there we go, we've got the cover on. So I've got the covers on. The wind's picking up a bit actually, but yeah, there's not very many ties on that cover. There's only like one in each corner, so hopefully they'll be all right. Anyway, I'm going to plant some lettuce, mixed leaves. That'll be first thing that I'll be planting in here. I do have other stuff, but for today I'm just going to plant the lettuce. I've done my little labels so I know what they all are. So Although I'm only planting one lot of lettuce, I've got 2 different varieties. So today I'm just going to plant in this one, the ones that I've got in my hand. So I'll just do a little trench with my hand. And what I'll do is I'll just leave that back bit, because when they do come through, I'll be able to thin them out and plant them, you know, give them more space each. So for now, that'll be all right. So I've just done 2 small rows of the lettuce in there. I did record it, but I thought I did, but I didn't press record. So yeah, I've planted them in there, and I'm just going to pop the cover back on now. So I've just given it a good water, and that's it now. That's it for today in the Vegepod. So there we are, that's a little job done for today. I'm really pleased I got on and did that. Now we can grow some sort of salads and stuff like that, and spinach, all the things for, you know, summer. I've just had to go and get my coat on. I mustn't get carried away thinking it's like summer already. But yeah, it's got a bit nippy. I've made a cup of tea, and I'm just going to show you what we've got for the channel. Invested in the DJI Flip drone. Now, I've had drones before, you've probably heard me talk about it, but I was always worried that I'd lose them. But this seems the simplest one to use, and you can use it without a control and put your hand out and it'll land back on your hand. Or you can use it with, I'll show you, the controller. There we are. And you can also use it with your phone. So yeah. So what I'm going to do in a minute is I already did have a go with it yesterday, so you've got to bear with me. It might be a bit iffy to start with because it's new and it's a little bit windy, to be honest, but I'm going to fly it in the field opposite and see what the footage comes out like. Anyway, I do hope that you all enjoyed the video, and thank you so much for being here. It's really appreciated. If you could give it a like, if you liked it, give it a share. I love talking to you all in the comments. That really helps as well. It helps the channel a lot. Also noticed in the analytics for the channel is that not everyone's got the bell notification enabled. About 9% of people, which is not a lot at all. So you could be missing out on some videos. So check that. Click the bell notification and click all, and then you won't miss a video. Anyway, you might want to miss a video. Anyway, take care everyone. See you in the next one. Bye.